insert generic greeting here. So after I've done very many videos on candy from different countries, I felt like I needed something different, like drinks from different countries. So then I went looking for different stuff and I finally found websites where they sell tea from different countries, which I found a very intriguing concept. And after fighting with myself from various options which ones to get, I got 12 different packets, which is already quite a lot to film and compare with each other. So we're just gonna open this box right now. Me with knives is gonna be something that's very prominent for the channel, I feel like. On the backside they mention which kind of teas are in here, so we have green teas, black teas, and also fruit and herbal infusions. Infusions, why can't I say infusions? Once you look on the front side, it tells you how long to cook them, with what temperature to cook them. It's really good, because like that's very different depending on the teas. They also are really well filled, in my opinion, so there's a lot of tea to drink and yeah. So the first tea we're starting off with is gunpowder, which is a green tea from China. It says you need 1 teaspoon and 70 degrees, which is kind of a problem because my water cooker doesn't have a temperature thing on it, and I also don't have a thermostat. Is that how you call it? Oh yeah, that actually smells good. It kind of smells like matcha. Oh my god, that smells really good. So while waiting for the tea to cool down, we realized that the outer packaging actually says this one is from Taiwan, even though the tea package itself says China. That is not the same country, something's fishy here. I'm also personally not sure what to talk about while drinking tea, and some people suggested I could talk about stories from the countries, but at least when it comes to Taiwan or China, whichever it is now, can't really say anything about that since I've not even been to this part of the world. But ironically, next semester, like I changed my major, and next semester I'm starting to learn Chinese and Taiwanese, which is kind of ironic now. I'm not sure if I left it on too long. I never drink green tea, so I'm not sure which level of bitterness it should have. It's like a little bitter, it's not too bitter. It's not bad, but it's definitely not something I would drink further. So I would rate this, wouldn't buy it again, out of 10. When I first had the idea of this video, I had this really aesthetically pleasing concept in mind, where I show the teapot and then I put water in and you see the color of the tea and stuff like that. But the problem with that is, first of all, cooking an entire teapot every time we film for this video would mean it will probably take 12 days to film this video, because if I have an entire teapot, that's enough tea for the day, so I don't want to do a second one. I only own 1 teapot, so, you know, who knows how many changes are gonna happen throughout this video still. This is an ever-changing concept, so this might be the messiest video I ever made, to be quite honest. So let me show you the 4 teas I decided to go with today. First of all, there's a green tea from Japan, which has strawberry and currant taste. You need 1 teaspoon, 90 degrees of water and 2 minutes of cooking time. Then there's an herbal tea from Switzerland with the taste of orange and mint. You need 1 to 2 teaspoons, 100 degrees and 5 minutes. Then there's Gielle, which is a black tea from India. I probably pronounced that completely wrong. You need 1 teaspoon, 100 degrees and 3 minutes. And then there's Rooibos from Africa, which, you know, Rooibos is Rooibos. You need 1 teaspoon, 100 degrees and 5 minutes. I decided to start off with the Swiss herbal tea. Oh, the tea itself smells really flowery, which is interesting. But you can definitely tell that orange and mint are in there. The cooked tea has a hint of that smell, but not nearly as strong, which I guess is quite normal for tea. Interestingly enough, it doesn't really smell like either oranges or mint, to be honest. I don't really know what it tastes like. I didn't sweeten any of them just to have the actual taste. But I think if that would be sweetened, I definitely would like to drink it more. But the pure taste is not exactly for me personally. It also kind of tastes like tea that would make you feel better if you're sick. Like, it would be calming, it would be against pain, which I'm not sure. Those are not claims I'm making. But it at least tastes like teas that are like that. Next we have the Darjeeling Jal from India. I mean, it smells like black tea. I personally wouldn't be able to tell you different black teas apart from the smell of like the plants. That is surprisingly bitter, even though I literally like took it off the second I was supposed to. I definitely have to put some milk and sugar into this because this is way too bitter for me. And I'm not sure if I cooked it too long even though I followed instructions, or if I just don't like most black teas without anything in them, so I'm gonna do that real quick. For some reason the milk colored this so much that it looks like I just have a pot of milk. Okay, with milk I really like this tea, but then again I feel like that's, for me personally, with most black teas. The only black tea that I drink without milk is Earl Grey, and then everything else like Darjeeling and English breakfast and stuff like that I always drink with milk, so I might be so used to the more sweetened taste of black tea that I just can't stand the natural bitterness. Okay, next we have the Rooibos. The last time I had Rooibos was orange Rooibos and I was a child, so I was really picky anyway, but I really didn't like it, so I'm wondering if I will like this time. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a distinct Rooibos smell. It's a really distinct flavor. Like, I know nothing like it, obviously. It's definitely not bad, and I think if I would be in Africa, I would drink that. I'm not sure how much Rooibos is dranken. What is English? But this wouldn't be my first pick if I go to a tea store, I think. It's definitely not bad, and I might sweeten this a bit later and try it with sugar in it, because I might like it a lot more. But I definitely need to figure out a way to have not as much blend in my cup, because even though that is probably not an issue health-wise, I just feel weird having all the plant in my mouth, so, you know, it doesn't make me want to drink a whole lot of it. But that's more my issue, because I have not proper tea cooking equipment that doesn't let all the plants through. And then last but not least for today, we have the Japanese green tea here, with strawberry and currant. And here's the thing, when I opened the packet to cook the tea, there was like so strong of a smell coming out of this. I kind of want to have like one of those air fresheners for my apartment with this smell, because this is really good, holy shit. And I was really anxious to get it out as quick as possible, because I don't want to have this ruined by being bitter, because I think this could taste amazing. Oh yeah, I really like that one. Yeah, it's a certain level of bitterness, so I probably should have taken it out like 20 seconds earlier. You also have a strong hint of the two fruits mentioned, like strawberry and currant. And then you have just a plain green tea flavor, and it's really nice. I think I would still sweeten this to really enjoy it, but I think generally this is a really nice green tea, and I really enjoy that, and I definitely will drink more of it. I think this would also really work well. If you cook it, then you put it on ice and make an iced tea out of it. Also, I'm really happy that I decided to do this today, because I felt kind of off, and now after drinking all this warm tea I definitely feel a lot better. So that's nice. Alright, it's yet another day and yet another time for tea. Today I'm starting with Frisian black tea, which according to the description it is Assam mixed with Ceylon. You have to cook it for 3 minutes at 100 degrees and with 1 teaspoon. It does definitely taste different from the black teas that I usually drink. Could be the mixture though, like I would like to know what pure Assam or pure Ceylon tastes like, because this is mixing several together. But yet again, as per usual, I would need milk and sugar to really enjoy this one. Honestly, the only black tea I can drink without that is Earl Grey. Honestly, with milk and sugar this one is really good. The second tea for today is called Marrakesh Mint, and it seems to be green tea from Morocco mixed with mint tea, which is an interesting combination that I've never seen before. This one you have to cook for 2 minutes at 90 degrees with 1 teaspoon. That's really interesting. Can definitely taste the mint, and also like the certain spiciness mint sometimes has. But at the same time you can taste that there's something completely else, which is the China gunpowder that's mixed with it. Which makes me wonder if this is something that's actually drank in Morocco, or if the company that sends out these packages just mix two types of tea together. But either way, it's actually quite good. That's one of my favorites from the entire box, to be honest. And lastly, we have Persian apple, which from what I can tell is just dried apple pieces mixed with dried pieces of other fruits or something like that. And ironically, I have a whole ton of that. Well, not a literal ton, but you know what I mean. I have a lot of that in my apartment because I brought some home for Christmas presents and I bought way too much of it. So I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with it. You have to cook it at 100 degrees, 1 to 2 teaspoons and 8 to 10 minutes, which is the longest time I ever cooked any tea. But maybe it's different if you cook tea from not a plant, but like from dried fruits. Interesting. Well, I mean, it says there's citric acid in there. This tastes extremely sour, holy shit. Like, it doesn't taste like hot lemon, but it tastes really, really citric. Like, really, really, really citric. Yeah, that's not my thing. I expected this to taste way different. It kind of tastes like juice. Sorry, Persia, I don't like your tea, apparently. Just a quick story, however. I was in Persia in like a cave village, and we were talking to the oldest woman that lived in the village, and she had really, really good tea. And after I said I really loved that tea, she gave me an entire bag of the herbs she used for that, so I still have a lot of that, and I already made it once, and it's really, really good. So I can't even say I don't like Persian tea, I just don't like this apple thing, and I'm not even sure if that's properly Persian, because I don't know if this company is very much to be trusted, I don't know. Admittedly, I took quite of a lengthy break from filming for this video, and I concentrated on a lot of other projects, which is basically why, for example, this background changed, since this is kind of in between two generations of videos now, and I felt like I should really just finish this off now. I still made sure that the last 4 teas I have are all different types of teas, just so it will be more interesting. But other than that, just let's get right into the final tasting. So here we have first of all mate, which is basically herbal tea, but I feel like it's a specific type of tea. It's, as far as I can tell, coming from South America. From this tea you have to take 1 to 2 teaspoons, 100 degrees, and cook it for 5 minutes. It has a really interesting smell. But it doesn't, I wouldn't say it smells like anything I could really pinpoint or like, you know, remember ever having smelled. It is kind of like, not grass, but like, kind of like earth? Earthy? Is that an English word? Can you say that? I don't know how you would say that, but it's like, it smells like earth. That's really interesting. I feel like for herbal tea, this is like probably the most agreeable for anyone. It's really, really mild. It's not overpowering. Like, you have the distinctive taste. I don't even know how to describe it, but it goes down very smoothly. And I really, honestly, if that would be in shops, I could see myself buying that. It kind of tastes as if I would imagine like collecting herbs on a camping trip and then just cooking them and making them into a tea. It's really interesting to me. Next off we have a regular herbal tea. This one is called something that I can't really translate to you, but you can basically just call it a Franconian herbal tea. Franconia or Francony, I'm not exactly sure how to call it in English. It's like the northernmost part of Bavaria, but more like northwest. It's very close to where I grew up, so, you know, this almost feels like home. So here's the thing, when you smell into the package, it has a really strong peppermint smell. But then the tea itself doesn't really smell that much like peppermint. And it actually smells... In Germany there's this thing in like primary school. After school ends, you have like a whole floor where you can just like chill out with friends and, you know, wait for the next bus, stuff like that. And they often had tea. It may be that that's what this fragrance reminds me of. I'm not 100% sure, but it does remind me of very early school times. Oh shit, that's so hot. Oh my god, that is what? I could be imagining things, but if it kind of tastes like tea we had around that time. Holy crap. But I am pretty sure that I had a very, very similarly tasting tea somewhere in my childhood. I really, really like that one, honestly. Alright, next we have our black tea of the day, which is called English Mixture Classic, but it smells like what I remember English breakfast to smell like. This is absolutely English breakfast. It's super bitter though. Holy crap, that... It tastes like if you would have left English breakfast for like 15 minutes. Here's a story. When I first got into England and started drinking black tea, I always... I didn't know that you have to take the bags out after like 5 minutes. So I always had them in for 15 minutes and it always tasted like this tastes like right now. So I always believed I didn't like black tea until somebody actually made it properly and got the bags out in time. I'm wondering if this is because of all the loose tea in the cup, so it's still like, you know, boiling the tea inside of the cup. Because I'm really surprised it shouldn't be as bitter, given that I really took it out after 3 minutes. That's really odd. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put milk and sugar in. So much better. Still quite a bit bitter. I went with the instructions, which are 1 teaspoon at 100 degrees for 3 minutes, so I don't know what happened there. Nah, but this is bringing me back to the time I was living in England. In case you're new to my channel, there's a whole list of stories from the time I lived in England. I'm gonna link the playlist up above, so you can watch that after you watch this video. I'm just gonna tell you that the stories were mostly not the most fun, but you know, the videos are still entertaining, so I would love if you go watch those. Okay, and here's the very last tea, which is a green tea. The 8 Treasures of the Shaolin. I would expect it's the one from Japan, even though it doesn't really name it here anymore. You have to cook it for 2 minutes at 90 degrees with 1 teaspoon. And it's honestly just a big mixture, because you have green tea, you have sencha, you have gunpowder, you have chunmu, minotaur, I don't know what those are. You have white tea. There's like a million different teas in here, it's insane. And it also has a flavor of strawberry and pineapple, which is really interesting. Oh my gosh, this smells so freaking good. Can't even describe how good it smells. I can't drink as much of it as from the other teas because it's still very hot. It tastes really, really fruity. And this might be the first green tea that I didn't mess up, because this one doesn't have any bitterness to it at all. Which means I would absolutely drink the heck out of this, because, you know, without bitterness, I love the whole thing. I would love to have a candle with that fragrance. I'm not sure if I said that before to another tea, but I see we're ending on a high note. Now looking back, there were a few mistakes I made with this whole concept, which mainly all boil down to, you know, separating the different teas so much time-wise. So I can't really remember every of the 12 teas, and I didn't really write down anywhere my ratings or anything. So, you know, I can't really 100% confidently tell you this one is the best tea out of all of it. I definitely remember all the fruity green teas, which I feel like was only this one and one other one. But they were both really, really good. The Mate tea from today was really good as well. It's probably not the most fair comparison, since those 4 are definitely the most in my memory right now. but I feel like this selection of teas I liked the most out of all of them, because the green tea wasn't bitter at all, the English tea reminded me of my time in England, the Franconian tea reminded me of my childhood, and the mate tea is just really smooth and nice. Generally speaking, all the black teas in the box were nice, but in the end they were all just black teas. There wasn't anything outstanding about any of them to me personally, and I still prefer Earl Grey of all the black teas that were in the box. For the green teas, I still think I just did some mistakes, because I'm not sure if they were supposed to be bitter to begin with. If they were, then green tea isn't my thing, except this one which really isn't bitter at all. Other than that, I really liked this experience. I'm really happy I decided to buy a box of 12 different teas from different countries. This definitely showed me a lot more perspective into different types of teas. I had a lot of tasting experience, and I hope you enjoyed watching me drink all of those teas. And maybe I inspired you to do the same and look into different sorts of teas and, find your perfect match of a hot drink. I am actually planning to make a similar videos about different flavors of hot chocolate and chai tea. I have a whole bag of both of those things already in my apartment. Did any of the teas in this video intrigue you to try them? What is your favorite type of tea, or do you maybe hate tea completely? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like. And if you like this kind of video, or if you like story times, or travel vlogs, or candy tasting, or just, I don't know, random shit, go check out the rest of my channel and see if there's more stuff that you enjoy. And if there is more stuff that you enjoy, why not subscribe to my channel and also put on the bell notifications so you won't miss any of my future uploads. So much for that, and I hope to see you around next time.